Thank you very much for taking some time for us. I appreciate this. This is nice of you.
Oh, thank you.
And your first visit to Hawaii, have you ever been here before?
No, I never been to Hawaii.
Wow.
It's my first time. It's gonna be my first time there.
You got to be pretty excited, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Did your dad ever play here?
Oh, I think so. Maybe I don't know. He traveled a lot.
I read that your late father actually discouraged you from playing the guitar. That might surprise a lot of people listening, and then you learned to play secretly. Can you kind of tell that story?
Yeah, for the people like maybe too much people think he just didn't like me to play music. It's not like this. When he first started it in like 80, 85, 80, 84. We have like very, very bad time. The people like coming here, just take him to go somewhere. And he never get his money. So this why he don't like to me to be or to have the same one.
I get what you're saying. What you're saying is that the music business it kind of ripped him off. He felt ripped off, and he didn't want you to get burned.
Exactly. So it's why he tell me, okay, it's better if you go just work somewhere, be soldiers. It's better than if you wanna go
be a soldier. He said,
if you're gonna be like a musician, because the business, because the people working in the music. Sometimes it's not all the guys, but sometimes they're very bad guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes with the soldiers too, that can be depending on where you are in the world, different kind of people call themselves soldiers. It's not always a nice racket. But your dad wanted you to be in the military, I guess, instead. He thought that would be a more...
Yeah, it's what he's telling me. He say, okay, it's better to be military because you're going to have your pay every month.
Security.
You don't have any problem with all this stuff.
Right, I get it. Total to the security versus the music business. That makes sense. How old were you, though, VU, when you first started to be affected by the guitar? Like, he would be playing it maybe at home, maybe he'd take you to concerts. Describe when you've decided, I like this is fun, and maybe first touching it and stuff.
It's a long story. If my mom tell me this story, he say, okay, when you are very young, you are kids, when your dad's playing, you are always sit down and see him to play, like this. I say, wow, okay. But, when I'm starting, it's when I first, love drums. I love how the people, play drums.
Drums were your first instrument?
First things. After drums, I play calabash, congas, and all the stuff. And just I say, I want to try guitar, to see how it's working, So I just start guitar. I don't know, it's like if somebody just cook everything and give to you to eat, because the best time cooking, the best time to doing all this stuff is just sit down and eat. It's like.
Explain that to me one more time about the analogy with the cooking.
I say it's the best time in the when you eat food is not like when you go to take food and order or something like this. The best time for this is when you're eating. So for us here, we say they just give you food, ready, cooking, prepare everything, just come eat. It's like this. It's how we see that. Everything I learned, it's a first from my father.
And with a father like that, very special man. I actually saw your dad live in concert in the Boston area back in 93, 94. Yeah, he was doing The Source, I guess it was. I forget which record it was. It was like 1993, and he came...
1993?
Yeah.
It was the river or something like that.
It was right before... It was the one right before Talking Timbuktu. It was like right...
Yeah, I think it's in Nyafanke. No, it's not Nyafanke. Nyafanke is after...
Yeah.
Talking Timbuktu, the river, I think.
Right. Maybe that's it, the river. Right, something like that. Yeah. It was incredible. So when I think about your style, and you say you get to everything, the root is your father, were there other guitar players that have that in your earliest time of picking it up, you also liked and gravitated to? Because people call you like kind of like the Hendrix of the Sahara or something I was reading. So think about some of the other players that you appreciate.
No, I love, it's actually, I'm listening to many guitar players. Maybe I don't know their name. Like, sometimes it's like B.B. King or, or Johnny Hookers or all these guys. Sometimes, the guitarist playing for Phil Collins or for B.M. Adams, I listen too much this kind of things. So, I don't listen too much Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
But I listen these people. Maybe sometimes it's just the music. I don't know their name.
Right.
But I know they put the guitar in the city for Phil Collins or B.M. Adams or this kind of.
When you did that record, The Secret, you had Dave Matthews, Derek Trucks, John Schofield. What led to those collaborations? Was that somebody else's idea, or did you decide you wanted to put them on the record with you?
Yeah, it's one of the day I have. It's many times. I say it's good. I love to play with like some big artists from United States, some bluesman, some old guys. Some young guys. Just to mix it because it's how my father said. The blues come from Africa. So I want to just see something to see. Okay, if I play this music from Africa, how this guy's gonna play on this music? How the music gonna be?
Right, like how will the reaction be? What will the collaboration end up sounding like?
Yeah, gonna be.
I like that.
This is why I say, okay, it's good to try. To try to see how it's gonna be.
Kind of like the thing you do with the guy from Israel. I forget his name, but that's another one of these.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Idal
Rachel.
Yep. And I was thinking the same thing as you were talking. And like we mentioned Ry Cooder, who famously did Talking Timbuktu with your father. Again, it's Vieux Farka Toure. He's coming to the islands.
Yeah.
And when we think about Ry, did you ever get to play with him yourself? Has he come into your life?
I play for him, but not play like in the stage or something. He asked me one time to come play, and he's doing some project. I don't know what kind of project it is. So I put some guitars, but it's a very long time ago.
You recorded for him?
I play some guitars in the record.
Wow, that's interesting.
Some songs.
Yeah. Do you still live in Africa?
I'm still living here. I'm still living in Nyafanke, Bamako. Sometimes I go to Nyafanke, my village. Sometimes I come here. Yeah.
So you're in Mali?
Yeah, I'm in Mali right now. Sometimes, it's here. I can't stay in Nyafanke because for the business, so I have to stay here. In Bamako, because to take all this, the business, internet, phones, you have to be there.
Right, it keeps you connected to the world. I get what you're saying.
Yes.
And then you got to go out and do business around the world.
Yeah.
As a sort of a final note, because we're talking about Africa comes up in the news sometimes here in Hawaii because of a poaching crisis there that is caused by people in Asia. So because Hawaii is right next to Asia, and so we talk about things that are happening in Asia, all kinds of things. It could be politics, it could be military, it could be conservation. And on that note, even though the rhinos and the elephants primarily are in Africa, unfortunately, there are consumers in the Asia Pacific, primarily in China and in Vietnam, who buy things like rhino horn and elephant ivory. And it's caused this pair of unbelievable, shocking, sad, upsetting extinction crises. And I was just curious, as a person who's from Africa, where these two animals are from and where they're suffering and going through this epic poaching crisis. Are those things that touch you, or are those issues that are near and dear to your heart at all?
Yeah, when the first you have to know, when you're a musician, you're ambassador from your country. It's the first.
Mm-hmm.
For myself, I'm these guys the traditional guys from very traditional guys from village. So I'm very how do you say? It's not like maybe there is not same how the people living in Mali and how they living in Hawaii or Asia or somewhere or the idea which idea they have. But first for the animal, I don't like the people killing animals. I don't like that. Now the people that they don't respect anything. If you listen to the album I make now, I always singing for how the people have to be and what kind of what we have to do, because it's very important. I always try to teach the people how we have to live, be like the animal.
You're saying you like to teach people to be kind in how they live,
to make the life better,
to make the life better for the animals.
Yes.
Okay. So
because when it's this album, we have this song here, we have this song there, this song in the what do you say in the city. So just try to what do you say, to take the people more, more like be more good with the animal, Here we don't have too much animal. They kill everything, So.
Right. Yeah. It's that's the sad thing. That's why in these other places they really got to get on it and stop that stuff.
Yeah, they killed all the animals. Now, if you travel like 100 kilometers, you're not gonna see any animal. With the rebellion, with everything. So I always tell the people it's good. So don't. But the problem is the people don't know what kind of animal they have to kill. If they have to kill the animal, they like the little animal or the big one. So they kill everything. So that's not good.
Right. So you're saying you have a song on the new record that tries to tell people to be...
Yeah. I have the song for the new record.
What's the name of that song?
Let me see. I don't know.
Is that the record that's out? The record that's out and in public already?
Yeah. The record is out. Yeah.
And what's the name of that song?
Yeah, this is what I want to see now. I don't have all the... I don't want to give you the wrong one.
Right, I understand.
Yeah. Nature. You see Nature in the song?
Oh yeah, Natu.
Yeah, it's named Nature.
Okay.
It's like Nature. It's like Nature.
Like natural.
Yeah.
Like nature.
It's to tell the people we don't have to do all this stuff. We have to be good. We have to, what do you say? Take care of the animals. Take care of the water. Take care of the jungle. Take care all this, because without all this stuff, it's not life.
Right on, man. That's a good message. Yeah. That's an important message, and I'm sure people...
It's very important, yeah.
People listening will appreciate that. We'll play a little bit of that song. It's Vieux Farka Toure, and he's going to be tonight at the MAC, Friday at the Kahilu Theater, Saturday, Sunday, Blue Note. We really appreciate you taking some time for us, and maybe I'll come down and spend some time with you at your show at the Blue Note here in Hawaii. I'd love to get to meet you.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Hawaii. It's Vieux Farka Toure. And you tunes my good friend, Dave Lloyd. Please make the donation to support the show now. Here's how to do it. I thank you for supporting Hawaii Public Radio.
Excellent. We got it.
Yeah.
You're my brother. Okay. I give you a high five.
Thank you.
And it was a lot of fun, brother. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate
it. Thank you so much.
And I'll see you when you get to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Take care of you. Aloha, brother.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thanks.
Bye-bye.